higher self wanted me to deliver this message to you today, that it is time to start sharing your knowledge and wisdom with the collective, with your communities. Oftentimes we have imposter syndrome that is really tripping us up and telling us, I don't know if this is going to be enough or if people are going to like it. Am I going to be able to articulate my ideas effectively? And I get that, because those are thoughts that I have come up in my spiritual awakening journey as well. And they can really trip you up. They create a lot of fear and anxiety. It activates your central nervous system. It kind of makes you feel like you want to run away from yourself. And what I would suggest is to ask yourself, what could I talk about just for hours and hours upon end? I would imagine that you love talking about healing and self-awareness and sharing love and compassion with other people and helping them with their magic and experiencing more whimsy in their life, making metaphysical topics a lot easier to understand. And within those, we can ask ourselves, what are the challenges and problems and issues that people are facing getting to their desired reality? Where are they trying to get to? Either with their soul mission, their spiritual gifts, talking to their higher self, their intuition. Maybe they want to develop their channeling abilities, their psychic gifts. They want to work on their chakras or inner children. They want to learn how to be more confident or help with their self-concept so they can show up authentically into the world without feeling scared. Maybe you want to help them with witch wounds or persecution fears, people pleasing, masking. There are so many topics of interest, but you got to find what really resonates with you. Like, what is going to be exciting for you to talk about, that you're very passionate about, that if your friend was coming to you and saying, hey, I'm having XYZ problem, and if I could just get some advice from somebody who knows about this, it would completely change my life. This is where you come in. And what is the first thing that comes up when you hear that statement? The way that we can package this information for people. You can do workshops, master classes, lives, courses. A good way to test these things out, one, we need to have some type of email community. When we are posting on social media, that's great, and I'm super proud of you for that, because that is a hurdle and challenge to get over to begin with. But if you are already online and showing up, an email community sometimes is going to be a little bit more effective in some terms. Posting on social media is a great way to bring new people into your realms and to showcase your energy and what you have to offer and your abilities. But those are also very random sometimes of whom they are showing up to. If you have an email community, those are persons who have made that commitment of, I really enjoy what you're doing and I want to see more. We can offer them some type of free gift in order to enroll them. There's lots of different types of email marketing communities that you can become a part of. The one that I started with was MailChimp. It's very user-friendly. Love. So that's one of them. I now use Stan Store's email community. When you are sending people information about these workshops, masterclasses, lives, courses, the people in your email community are going to be more likely to sign up for these things because they have made that greater commitment and they are deeper into your realms. What we need to do next is figure out what is the topic that I want to be discussing. And we need to put a date and a time on it. Especially if you are neurodivergent, we will kick the can down the road because of the imposter syndrome. And I listened to a coach years ago that said, if you put a date and time on something and you tell people that you are going to be there and you are a very accountable person, you're gonna show up, and it will really kick your brain into high gear of, oh, I have a task that I need to complete and I'm going to be holding sacred space for others. Let me start researching about this topic that I'm going to be teaching on. And not in a comparison way, but let's say that you are helping people develop their channeling abilities. You will receive intuitive insights and downloads from your higher self of, hey, how about we go on YouTube or wherever and start looking at different channeling abilities or different problems people are having in those areas. Where are they trying to get to? Those are the breadcrumbs that you will start to receive once you make a commitment to yourself of, I can do this. I am obviously feeling the call within my soul from people out there in the cosmos. That means that I am needed. My special medicine and magic. We are the ones that are often overcomplicating things and getting too in our head, when that's not always what teaching others is about. Yes, there's information that you're going to be relaying to them and it is going to support them in their lives, but there's a whole myriad of other things that come along with that, of them seeing you showing up as a leader, of taking the time and energy to share your wisdom and love. It is going to be very inspiring for other people to see that portion of it. And it is going to give them the fuel and motivation and drive to do these things in their life as well. So it has so many different ripple effects from you showing up exactly as you're meant to. What I would suggest is to do some type of masterclass or workshop. And with masterclasses and workshops, the differences that I see there are, workshops are a little bit more a co-collaborative experience where people are sharing their insights with you. It's kind of a back and forth, where a masterclass is you're kind of talking to everyone and there's not so much participation. It's more of a teaching style, with a masterclass, and a workshop is more of like a mentorship teaching type of energy. Those are just my interpretations. You might have different ones as well. That is going to be a great lead off for you to figure out if you want to build a course on something, which we absolutely love passive income. I'm all about hosting individual sessions and mentorships and things of that nature, but you only have so much time and energy. And we want to get paid to exist, and this is one form of that, of you packaging together all of your knowledge for somebody else to save them time, energy, and effort. Thinking about, what are all the things that I wish that I would have known earlier on my journey? The fear that comes with that often is, well, I may not be far enough ahead in order to help somebody else, or maybe I'm still experiencing what I'm trying to teach about. And that causes some anxiety of who am I to do this? I will tell you that helping other people is what gets you unstuck. It is totally okay to teach on something that you are currently experiencing, because what ends up happening is you become more objective about what is going on in your life, and you start pulling in information from other people's field. It's a type of channeling where their higher selves and their inner children and their different incarnations will send you advisement that you wouldn't have seen for your own life. Because you're not having an emotional reaction to this feeling of stuckness. It's like if you're trying to figure out your own things in your life but then you go see a friend or an energy healer or a therapist, and they're able to help you out of it very effectively because they're not attached, but they may be experiencing it in their life too. That's you taking a step back and saying, if I was talking to somebody else, what would I tell them? That is a great way to separate yourself from your own challenges and give sage advice, but then to yourself. You can do that with your inner children as well. They are still a part of you, but what would I tell the sweet angel babies within me? Now, the other fear that comes with that, like I said, is not knowing enough. You do not need to be the all-knowing expert. You just need to be a couple steps ahead of somebody else. It's like when you first started on your spiritual awakening journey and you're listening to people that were talking about these very heady, esoteric concepts. You're like, I don't know what they're saying. They're using words that I do not understand. It's the same thing with people on their journeys. If you're talking about, let's say, the Akashic records over here, and this person is just now learning about a little bit more simpler concepts like energetic boundaries, they're not going to understand the Akashic records over here. And so you've got to meet them somewhere in the middle to be that bridge point of understanding. So you need to ask yourself, what would a younger version of me 6 months ago or a year ago need to know to get to where I am at today? That is literally all you need. It does not have to be some complicated situation. Also, when people are coming to you to watch a workshop or a masterclass, we cannot bombard them with tons of information. We are speaking to them for 30 minutes or an hour, or if you're like me, 3 hours sometimes, and that's a lot. But it's not like we are walking them through this huge, massive undertaking project. It's let's pick some bullet points that have to do with this topic that we would think would help them in their life. Like there needs to be some type of continuing process for them, like the foundations of, hey, if you take these steps, this is the result and the outcome that you can achieve based off of my own personal experiences and understandings, or, you know, working with clients. That's all you really need. What I would suggest is to get on Canva or some type of website that will help you put together a PowerPoint presentation and create a slideshow. It's great for people who are readers and that are visual as far as imagery. We do not want to overload people with text on the slides. When I'm creating mine, I literally will put 1 or 2 sentences on each one, because the people that you are going to be supporting the most are most likely going to be neurodivergent and get overstimulated very easily. We need to make it very simple and clean. Couple sentences, picture, next slide. Couple sentences, picture, next slide. What that is going to do is it's going to give you a lot more structure, and you're going to feel grounded and centered while you are giving this presentation. Then you can come in with your channeling abilities and kind of go off on tangents or talk about your own personal experiences, because you're not only giving them information, but you're reading the group whom you are presenting to. So there are going to be things that come up along the way that you're going to get insights on. You're going to say, oh, I really want to talk about this, but sometimes we can go a little too far off tangent. And so having that slideshow presentation to come back to centers you back into, oh, let's get back into the 3D realms here, out of the metaphysics up here, the 5D and above, and get back on track and keep on keeping on. And that's all you really need. Just talk about a topic that interests you and key highlights of where you've been on your journey and where you're at now and how you got there. And a way that you can enroll people in this is to have an email community or make social media posts and take people on the process. It is so healing to see other people that are being authentic and vulnerable and raw. Take people on the journey of putting this together, like the whole entire process, because that's going to be very inspirational. It's going to give people a back end view about how to do this. You're going to be expressing maybe fears that are coming up for you and how you're working through them. Those are amazing ways to market this workshop or masterclass. Yes, workshop or masterclass. To have people enroll into it because they feel like they're a part of it being birthed into existence, and they get to see the details and the ins and outs of it beforehand, so they get an idea of what it's going to be like and how you are as a teacher and a mentor and a guide with showing the whole experience. The reason that we want to host a workshop and a course, y'all, a workshop or a masterclass in the first place is because that is going to be a beta test run if you want to do a course. It is going to give you some practice of articulating and speaking all of those things into existence, because maybe there are things that you want to take out or things that you want to add in. People are going to give you feedback about how you could make it even better. You're going to be able to see the gaps so that when you do go sit down to record everything and package it like this and then have it coming in as passive income, is going to be so much of an easier process. And you may even find I didn't really enjoy that, and that is okay too. Like I said, there's a whole myriad of reasons that this is going to be beneficial, not only for you and other persons. And sometimes there's a full stop after the masterclass or the workshop of like, oh no, that was it, that's all it needed to be. This was more about me learning how to become a leader and more authentic, and how to articulate these higher level concepts and learn how to be a facilitator of a group of people. Or you turn it into a course that's passive income. So this is a great way to teach yourself how to flush out your processes. I know that it sounds very scary to do this because these are not necessarily skill sets that we are taught how to do. YouTube University is great. These are things that you've got to teach self, and they're skills that are acquired over time by practice and implementation, feedback, just jumping in and doing it. And like I said, it does not have to be this overcomplicated thing. This is what has helped me in my journey, and this is going to help you. It's going to save you time, effort, and energy. And if we have another fear coming up of, well, there's other people doing this, there's so much of this out there. Well, you need to find what makes you unique and different. What is it about this that you are putting together that can only be done by you? Maybe it's your personality. Maybe it's the way that you explain things. Maybe it's just your auric field. And you make people feel very magical and whimsical, or you help them feel safe and centered and grounded. When they're in your presence, you are an activator. It's not even about what you're teaching or the words that you're saying or what you have on your slideshows. It's literally just being in your energy that shifts people and launches them into their desired realities. Or all those other myriad of things that we talked about before, of you showing up as a leader and doing things even when you're scared. This is such a healing process. If you have experienced people pleasing, masking, witch wounds, fear of judgment, persecution wounds, it will skyrocket you beyond those. the first step is deciding that you are going to invest in your own growth and evolution by stepping outside of your comfort zone and becoming a leader to others. You can still be a student while you're being a leader, but the students eventually have to become the leaders. You have got to start walking that path if you want to get to these next levels in your spiritual business. We have got to teach ourselves how to hold groups of people. It's one thing, like I said, to go from doing individual sessions to being a presenter to the many. And that is going to lead to so many opportunities. Speaking gigs, you putting together group mentorships. And I love to do individual sessions, and I was very scared to do it for groups of people. And honestly, they're completely different energies from one another. It is a vastly different experience, and they're both beautiful in their own ways. And I was just getting in my head so much about it. And there is this whole other facet of me that comes forward when there's a lot of people there versus one. And there is the opportunity to really skyrocket the sales in your spiritual business when you are marketing to so many more people at once. And not just talking about the money. We love money, okay? Not just talking about the money, but we want to be able to reach as many people as we can. We want to have this massive effect in the collective and have this really amazing legacy here, supporting people thriving in their lives, so we can have this big shift in reality of everybody just being happy and thriving. And you're a part of that. You're a puzzle piece of the bigger puzzle that we are all working on with one another. And if your puzzle piece is not in the puzzle, there's a missing link in the chain there. It's not going to be complete. And the reason that you are feeling this within of having all this creative energy and you have all this knowledge and wisdom, I know you're a learner, you just keep at it consistently, and you're adding, but we're never outputting. And I know you are. I know you're creating social media posts and doing all of these things. It's just time to step up into a new version of yourself that says, I am an effective leader and people need to hear what I have to say. They want to pay me for what I have to say. My work is going to revolutionize their life. They are going to be so excited to learn about my processes and how this has helped me in my life and how it's going to help them in their life. And they're going to have immense quantum shifts simply by being in my field and hearing the frequency underneath my words and basking in all of the love and compassion and empathy that I have to share. And I'm going to be their biggest cheerleader. But we need to do it on a bigger stage now. And that looks like, setting yourself up for success with doing these practice runs with the master classes and the workshops, and they can be free or they can be paid, whatever you're comfortable with. You can always do a free test run and then do a paid one and then turn that into a course and have passive income. And that is really going to launch you into this next stage of your life, and your higher self is saying you are ready. What we need to do is get out a Google Docs or a notepad. I like Google Docs because you can go in and edit and move things around, and pick your topic of whatever you want to help people with and brain dump. I want you to write every single thing that you think is connected with this topic on this Google Doc. What ends up happening is we try and edit it with our logical and analytical mind, and that's where we get tripped up, because you're like, oh, well, I need to make sure that this goes here and this goes here. That's not what we're doing. We are literally taking everything from our brain and putting it out. That is going to give you clarity of mind when it is time to go back in and edit and create a more streamlined outline of how you want everything to be. If you do this, you're going to have so much information come out that it is going to absolutely blow your mind. Because not only is it coming from your own consciousness, it is coming from your higher self and your different incarnations and your inner children and your spirit team. They all have their own perspectives and experiences, and they're like, oh, put this in, and this, and this, and this, and this. And you're also quantumly connecting to other people's higher selves, because they have all of this information. They're like, oh, they need to know this, and this, and this, and this. It is a co-collaborative experience in the astrals coming from the Akasha to support you. It is going to blow your mind. You're like, dang, I know so much. I have so much information. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit all of this in here. And so this is when we go back into the Google Docs and move things around. Oh, I need to say this before this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And you can figure out, how do I want to start my intro? How do I want to welcome everybody in? Let's talk about the intentions and why we're here. Maybe we do a meditation in the beginning so I can regulate my own central nervous system before I start talking to everybody. And everybody can do it together in a meditation. Maybe we ask them icebreaker questions before we get started. And then we get into our slideshow presentation. Maybe we're doing this on Zoom, where we have invited everybody and they have, registered through however they register. And then towards the end, we thank everyone. We tell them if they want to continue working with us, this is the next step. And we tell them where to follow us on social medias. Babe, that's it. Simple, simple, simple. You can send them a follow-up email with the replay and the slideshow link so they can watch that in their own time. And then in the follow-up email, you tell them the next steps to work together, because now they're even more invested in you and your realms. And this is how we make more sales in our business. We become more confident. We start setting up effective systems for passive income. It's literally you just sitting down and figuring out what you want to do and taking these simple steps and putting them into practice, picking a date and time, telling people when you're going to be there so you stay accountable, and also asking for support if you need it. Everyone needs help in life, whether that's you asking a friend, asking an energy healer, going to look on YouTube, finding some Reddit forums, asking your community on social media. It is really beneficial to have other people's perspectives and experiences and input, as long as it's not overlaying on your own truths and beliefs and we're taking people's advice too much into account. This is more so, hey, I don't exactly know how to do XYZ. Maybe we need support with Canva or the email community, whatever that is. Don't be afraid to ask for support. People love supporting other people. You love supporting other people. That's why you're doing this in the first place. If somebody was asking you, I'm sure you would freely give out that information of like, oh yeah, girl, this is how you do this. We're not gatekeeping over here. Like maybe you don't become their personal coach and like go super intensely about things, but you're like, oh yeah, like if you just do this, this, and this, that's the next steps. Well, you have to give people the same grace that they want to do that for you. Because they do. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you thrive. So they're going to help you in the best capacity that they can. But you can do this. Like I said, we're overcomplicating it. It's very simple. If we have the fears of, well, what if nobody shows up? That does not matter. You showed up for you. That is the bigger lesson here. And maybe you do only have 1 or 2 people that sign up. Okay, that's more than 0. And maybe if you had a ton of people in there, that would be too much pressure, because you're an energy healer and a channeler. You can feel everyone's presence. Maybe you just needed 1 or 2 people in there for the first go around. Or maybe you have 150 people sign up. How incredibly amazing. Like, we always want to think of best case scenario. Of course this is going to succeed. I'm successful. I'm amazing. I'm brilliant. I have so much wisdom and insights to offer other people. I'm incredibly magnetic. Everyone loves my energy. Those are things that we need to be speaking over self while we are creating these projects. And it is going to breathe all of this beautiful life into what you're doing, and people are going to feel that when you're making videos about it or talking about it. They're going to be excited if you were excited, and then they're going to want to sign up for your amazing offer that you have for them. So I hope that this brought you a little bit more confidence and helps with your self-concept and gets you really excited to birth what you're wanting to into creation, because it is needed. That's why you're feeling the call in the first place. And oftentimes we just need a little push towards what we're wanting to do, and then it will get our butt in gear. Okay, so I love you so much. I hope you have the most amazing day today and you experience so much magic and fun and laughter and sparkly fairy vibes. And I'm sending you a big hug. Have a great day.